After the recent disaster of Hurricane Sandy, millions of Americans donated to charities, but they may be surprised to learn that their contributions aren't necessarily tax deductible, right?
Yeah, so it's always a problem in a case of disasters like this where a lot of groups will pop up quite quickly and people want to give quickly as well to help the victims. In the case of Hurricane Sandy, there were quite a few organizations that did not register with the state as charities, and some of them may have been misrepresenting their tax status, meaning that people donated to what they thought was a tax registered organization, but it wasn't.
So, I mean, what can we do? How can you tell if your organization is registered by the IRS?
It's actually pretty simple. The IRS has its own website. You can go on there, type in the organization's name that has, come to your door or called you on the phone. Just type in their name. If they're there, it will say whether they're tax deductible or not. And if they're not in that database, likelihood is they're not a certified organization.
Right, so what kinds of donations can be deducted?
Most of the time it's anything that's given to what's called a qualified organization. Typically these are 501c3 nonprofits. It's also things like religious organizations and churches that have received that status, or everything from the Red Cross to the Girl Scouts.
And what about funds set up for an individual or for a family? Are those tax deductible?
This is another tricky thing in the case of disasters. A lot of times people want to give to help someone in their community, maybe their next door neighbor. Those are never going to be tax deductible. It has to be an actual charity organization that's helping a larger group of people.
And what happens if you get caught by the IRS trying to deduct a donation that isn't necessarily tax deductible?
Yeah, so, it would only be most likely caught in the case of an audit, but no one wants to be audited by the IRS.
Of course not.
And if you are audited and they do find a donation to a group that was not a qualified organization, you can face not just the taxes that you would have owed, but also fees and interest on those taxes.
Wow, yikes. Okay, so is there anything you can do if you did already donate to an organization that isn't necessarily tax deductible?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can go to that organization and ask for your money back, but you're not going to get the deduction.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.